Honestly, Ruth Bassar could use my help too. She's all brains, but no branding.
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now.
That sure will be some comfort the next time one of my stumps seizes up.
This kind of collateral damage is precisely what I was hoping to avoid. But that is the past. We must look toward the future now. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. My sensory deprivation chamber. I spend the majority of my days closed inside the silence, dulling myself against the tedious excesses of the body and mind. Want no longer factors into my decisions, but I can see how that might confuse one of such spirited bearing. I am using the chamber to prepare for a test of significant endurance. I think it best to leave the discussion there for now. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Very well. We are here to fashion the future after all, not litigate the past. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider. Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security risks. But perhaps a remote conference could be a viable alternative. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable. But the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation. Oh, I am well aware of your extracurriculars. I only lacked the context to understand them until now. You've certainly built out a commendable framework for this discussion. Hopefully your forward thinking extends to the negotiations themselves. Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communique. We can finesse the details of a conference then. My time is yours, for the moment. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spirton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. You could, but I fear you will be a long time waiting for the next selection. I have no intention of shuffling off this mortal coil anytime soon. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. Thank you for that charitable assessment. My predecessor, Presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromise is made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. It is humbling indeed to confront one's own mortality. We must all assess our individual contributions to the plan before the final class lets out. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
I reckon that ship's already sailed off into another fucking dimension.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
I suppose congratulations are in order for having dispatched so many Sentinels. Can't rightly say I'm surprised, what with your knack for wanton violence. But still, impressive. And let's not forget that I was the one who gave Azahelia Leitinger a purpose and fulfillment. Look at how much fun you've had.
Oh, she's dead already. But I might make it quick if you have a good explanation for your betrayal.
Let's not be hasty. I mean, can it even be a betrayal if it was always lies? But I must say, when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest, I knew you were the perfect candidate.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
As much as I'd prefer to not anger you, I must say your willful ignorance is still a thing to behold. You are always so willing to accept even the most specious of arguments. I can only hope your luck has run its course and the remaining Sentinels are able to put you down. Your death would put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Azza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. What, you suddenly take issue with my methods? I can think of no reason to curtail the pleasure of my revenge. Dagmar must die. Violently. Her betrayal warrants no other response. I know of no other way to act.
Imbeciles! How did you let Azza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me! alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. What? Why? Fine. But you are only prolonging the inevitable.
I must say, I am in favor of prolonging the inevitable myself. What I did for the greater good, to save the colony, all at the Consul's behest. It was my duty as a loyal subject to the true Protectorate. What other reason need there be? And Azza, she was an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside, so in need of guidance. But then, she went berserk. I never imagined how she'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people. The Consul feared that the Sovereign wasn't up to the task he inherited. He actually believed the subjects no longer needed such a firm guiding hand. So the Consul set to creating a challenge for the Sovereign to rise to make manifest the hidden dangers he refused to see. It began with labeling political subversives members of a fictitious cult. When that didn't work, the Consul enlisted me to make the glorious dawn a reality.
That means your death will be quick. Well, quicker than it would have been. Yes, I do! It's just all those questions you've been filling my head with. Can't seem to get my thoughts straight. I feel like I don't know anything anymore. It's about time! Let's gut this lying swine.
Trouble ahead.
She's dead.
As am I. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. It was too quick a death for one who betrayed not only me, but the whole of the Dawn. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. You're absolutely right. They turned on me once, they could do it again. And it will be easier to pick them off if I disband the Dawn. I can send out a general message to all the cells from here. I'll say our communications have been compromised or some such. That the Exalted Leader is dead and that they need to separate and protect themselves. That should work, though I suspect a fair amount will simply just jump into the closest rift. I'm sure there will be some that ignore the message completely, though. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me. Blood shall be shed, pants shall be soiled.
Have you considered that submitting ourselves voluntarily is proof enough that we don't require it? Waste resources that could be better spent on other subjects. Need I remind you that we are at...
Rust weapon primed. Enemy in evaporation range. Revive me! There's more fighters in a complex! I'm alive.
You ain't gotta stick with the Dawn, Tazza. You know that, right?
You've been misinformed. I'm not sticking with the cult, nor is anyone who wishes to remain breathing.
That may be, but what I was trying to say is that I still think you got it in you to make a real difference. To do some good.
I am making a difference. I am protecting myself by eradicating the cult. Violence is
Raring to go! Hey, we weren't done talking.
I am making a difference. I am protecting myself by eradicating the cult. You're lying to yourself if you believe I or anyone can do more. Not to mention the lies you're telling yourself. Despite your best efforts, you will always be an outsider, Inez.
You're wrong.
If you say so. I love a good killing spree! Huh?
Find my next victim. I mean, a hot.
Raph's back in business.
ready to spread the truth.
Back in business.
Say the word and I'll spread enlightenment.
Preserve that progress. Sustain the system. The Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Plan, preserve that progress. Stay in the system.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Waters Wellness here on Prince.
Murder! Dismemberment!
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you.
Come in, come right in, and be refreshed.
Go now!
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. Requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Gould, and I guarantee when you exit our doors, you'll be a
Productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say,
goodbye, imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
I don't know what in the void we just got hosed down with, but it's,
Greetings, subject.
nice.
Or should I say, refreshed to be.
To deliberate is to
Possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are...
Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
And then our heads will be as empty as yours. I've seen this too many times. It's not as fun as it sounds.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia...
Why, of course. Naturally. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal.
The top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Head refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitatement, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now, never more content.
We thrive together.
Placid Waters Wellnetarium is the primary mental refreshment facility on Praetor. We are tasked with ensuring local subjects are serene, untroubled, and operating at peak efficacy. Right as rain, neighbor, right as rain. And soon you'll be just like me. Our intake evaluation automech here simply needs to ask you a few questions to amply delineate your phreноmetric matrix. A baseline understanding of your character and background will assist our facilitators in determining the ideal regimen necessary to abrade any perceived personality irregularities. Yes, as it is an unthinking automaton capable of mindlessly parroting pre-programmed responses. None authorized to you, not until completion. Now there. No need to fear evaluation. It's just a few brief fleeting questions, all perfectly harmless, I assure you. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / your right, and it will begin your assessment.
The paradigm run with flawless efficiency. Unthinking is it? Unthink today. Unthink tomorrow. Unthink forever.
Greeting, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Wellnetarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective.
Mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Incorrect, but your response has merited a yay-sayer verbal commendation for exceptional tactfulness in the field, allowing you partial credit. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually, each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead.
That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitatement, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you?
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia,
Processing determination. An acceptable response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 100 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed 1 floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
They're operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Pondering begets disharmony. Process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Try to blend in. Act like a neutered, brain-dead lunatic. Just be yourself.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever played. Our first back is perfect. Our pitch ball is well conveyed.
To be found throughout Arcadia. Placid waters Wellnetarian.
Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon.
The top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing.
I make all songs about the paradigm abiders. Folks tend to get rather sore about it. The original version's about being a good Protectorate subject and turning in your neighbor if they lack zeal or think thoughts and such. In my case, my daughter reported me.
Sneer at our contentment.
Of course, we're all supposed to watch each other close to keep the paradigm on track and abiding. First thing you do when you're back is thank the person who did it. I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. Are you in disguise? I don't recognize so-and-so as a title. This feels a bit curious to me. But I feel compelled not to question it too much. Maybe the treatment is working. I'd go with you, I guess. But I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived. Stored them in storage. My commemorative pitch balls in there. From my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. Can't leave without it.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology.
I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet behind reception upstairs. Suppose so. Maybe almost, at least. One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry, though there are 2 automechs assigned there now, to keep subjects from wandering in and ambling off. Oh, well, mech controls are typically handled via a terminal. Probably one upstairs, but we're not allowed up there. Maybe you can find a way, though. I'll be dithering about here in the meanwhile.
Here on Freighter is uniquely special.
As concluded for today. Medicament dispensed. As concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall
mental
to
refreshment
request
process more refreshing than ever.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom...
Greetings, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Response, zeal, noted. With hope, our highly trained refreshment facilitators will share your promising self-diagnosis. I am responsible for providing each subject with their recommended daily dosage of Reprioritrin. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Yes. Anything I need to know will be told to me by my betters at the exact moment I need to know it. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the Lathe of Particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it firsthand. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech automechanically dispenses medicaments. 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 You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenometric peaks have been abraded.
Like stealing compost from a breadworm. Almost feel a little bad about it. She sure ain't asking many questions. Though I figure that's the aim of this refreshment nonsense. Bastards.
Console provides, the system abides.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural...
Possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's happy and contented, and others are not.
Don't forget, your unthinking compliance lets the paradigm run with efficiency. Unthinking is essential. Unthink today. Unthink tomorrow. Unthink forever.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Wellnetarium here on Crater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive deviser responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Engaging hostiles. Electrical dampeners failing.
Mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies unpoor inclinations, and refashions the mind into a state of symmetry.
Thinking never made anybody happy.
Aggressors in range.
Recharged for mayhem! Recharged and ready to main!
Hey, what's that sound? Why is the wall look so soft all of
Mayhem, murder, ready to spread the truth.
Advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
I was led to believe my case
happy and
required
contented,
minimal
and
treatment.
others are not.
But that last session, that was far more intensive. Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions. Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer! Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended. Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Oh, do I detect a whiff of reprioritin gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Wait. Ha! You're not a Protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
And you, my friend, are mildly intoxicated and highly open to suggestion. In other words, vulnerable.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Listen to this one. You're a hoot. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly, speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. Anything shy of dreary should do. If you haven't noticed, the bar for conversational intrigue around here is relatively low. Yes, well, you'll see, even in a nominally reduced state, I am more than up to the task. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate the ample bounty we provide, free of doubt and worry. No, I haven't. And that seems a rather facile argument to make about a society that utilizes automechs to handle daily chores and labor. A low-hanging fruit, as it were. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? How very nice of you to say. You're not half bad yourself, for a non-protectorate not me. Huh. Taken as a whole, that was the most engaging conversation I've had in, well, couldn't even say. Yes, it's true. I am thoroughly disturbed by how much you made me question many long-held beliefs. But frankly, that was quite invigorating. Now, what next? Oh dear, I don't understand how the machine works, only how to use it. The technical specifications for the Lathe of Particularity are in my office in the next room, hidden in a cache behind a frame on the wall. Pick up the cap to open it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have a schedule to maintain. So many minds to refresh, so little time. What an edifying confabulation.
Paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process
Adaptability stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, fashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Oh, the unspeakable things I'm about to do!
Don't forget, you're
Oh, the unspeakable things I'm about to do! Medical bag, out!
You've gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
questions are an addiction.
We've got company,
That's
Commander.
almost a perfect fight!
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varric, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varric. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today. We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Preposterous! The Consul and all the Vigilant are above reproach. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign, or consider such a thing. To even think such a thought is unthinkable. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care, as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the Protectorate is barbaric by comparison. Our system is perfect. Just leave us be. Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
Is a fellow subject appropriate seal for their assigned work. Refreshment post haste.
Hostile ahead. What's the play, Commander?
Pushing ahead! Stepping lively!
The protector!
Lo and behold, a foe.
They hate Talon.
We're refreshed. So refreshed.
Enemy spotted. I love a good killing spree.
Maintaining perfection! Advance!
Butcher.
Regain sight! Recommencing hostility!
Enemy about.
Happy to help. Discreetly. Let's get you healed.
Think of those rings I'm about to do!
I love a good killing spree.
Sharp enough. Hostiles nearby.
Be a good neighbor!
It's strange how I ended up here. With the cult nothing but an empty, discarded idea. If I hadn't started traveling with you, I may have spent my days hunting down the members I thought traitors and never realized it was Dagmar until too late. You may not have noticed, but I have a tendency to be a little impulsive. Reckless, even. Not too reckless to heed your counsel, at least when it comes to the remnants of the Dawn.
Go ahead. Tell me what ails ya.